A year ago, I was just a random college student studying in hospitality business, and now I'm still a random college student studying in hospitality business, but I also code 15 hours a day to build my startup. And the problem wasn't the fact that I had to code 15 hours a day, it's just when I had this idea, I didn't know where to start. And I wanted to make this video to maybe help those who are interested in building a startup and don't know where to start. So this is a step-by-step guide on what I did to build my startup, DILEMAA. First, hi, it's Ben Kim, a random college student who wants to become a millionaire before he turns 30, and I'm building a startup called DILEMAA. DILEMAA is a Q&A social media app designed for sharing and solving dilemmas. So instead of focusing on questioning and answering, we focus on providing a platform where people can discuss and collaborate to make decisions together. And when I had this idea, I was like, whoa, I think this is going to be a fun idea, but where do I start? And I probably wasted so much time thinking and researching what I had to do, but in this video, I'm going to summarize everything. The first thing when you want to build a startup or a business is that you need to have an idea. What is it about? Now, this idea could either solve a problem or have a really big opportunity zone. And when you have this idea, you also need to answer this question: why now? For DILEMAA, why do people need this app right now instead of 5 or 10 years ago? And to that, my answer is that as AI is expanding quickly, I see trends around myself, such as my friends or my cousins, asking themselves, if AI is automating everything, what am I going to do? And that's a dilemma. And I believe that as AI starts expanding, trends for personal development will also increase as well. So people will start really thinking about what they're going to do with their life. And that's why I say DILEMAA needs to enter this market now. Now, the second thing you want to do after you have an idea and you can answer why now is that, is it feasible to make it? For example, if I have this idea of I insert this chip and I can teleport anywhere I want. I mean, that is revolutionary. That is cool, but it's gonna be pretty hard. But if your idea is something that can be built with current technology, then you're almost done with step 2. Now, after you know that the current technology can actually build your idea, you want to know, are you going to build the idea? Or do you know someone to build that idea? Or do you have the money to hire someone to build that idea? So if your idea is something about an app, can you build an app? Or do you know someone who can build an app? Or do you have the money to hire someone to build an app for you? Now, after you figure this out, you want to go to a third step, which is surveying people. Now, surveying doesn't really mean to have a piece of paper and a pen and knock on every door in your neighborhood and ask people, would you like to buy my product? Not really. You want to survey people to figure out, do your customers really want your product? And you want to survey to the ideal customers, which is your target audience. For example, for DILEMAA, our initial target audience are college students. Age maybe 18 to 25, major can be anything, but we are focusing on US college students. Now, what we do to validate our idea is we go to RAs, we go to students, we go to club meetings and ask them, hey, I'm building this app. Do you think you would use it? It's completely free. And 10 out of 10, they said, yeah. For us, we validated our idea. Yeah. Now, the fourth step is actually the fun part. You actually have to build it. Now, the building part doesn't really mean that you need to build a perfect product, but you want to build an MVP. An MVP basically means a minimal viable product. It's basically a product of yours that has literally only the essential parts. So for DILEMAA, what we need is an app where people can post dilemmas and interact with dilemmas by commenting, voting, or rating. And the user who posted that dilemma can post a follow-up post showing the outcome of their decisions. So from other users' perspective, they can see the real-life impact of their contributions. Now, that's literally the only thing we need. I did get so many feedback from people saying you should have a location feature where if you're from Silicon Valley, people from Silicon Valley can answer your dilemmas. Or if you're Gen Z, only Gen Zs can answer your dilemmas. Or if you're in this university, only this university can answer your dilemma. And I'm like, interesting feedback. I like the feature, let me build that later. Because I've also met a lot of entrepreneurs who share their story that they worked for months and spent a lot of money to build this feature just to figure out later people don't really want to use that feature. So it's generally a good idea to build an MVP first and then gather feedback and then enhance your product. Now, while you're building your product, you can do other stuff, such as getting funded or getting money from people. Because when you build a startup, most likely you need to spend money. I mean, if you want to buy a website domain, that costs money. If you want to buy business cards, that costs money. If you want to have your custom email, that costs money. So if you don't want to spend your own money, which is me, because I'm broke, you need to get money from someone else. This can be friends, family, angel investors, VCs. But for me, since I'm a college student, my university has a program for entrepreneurs. And I was granted about $6,000 from my university after I've been winning competitions and participating in entrepreneurship programs. So with this $6,000, I was able to hire freelancers, build websites, hire interns, and so on. The next thing you can do from here is to incorporate your business. This basically means to make it an LLC or C C Corp, S Corp, or whatever formation you want to do. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know a lot of laws, but usually people go for LLC because from LLC, if you want to transfer to a corporation, you can do that. But if you're in a corporation, why would you go down to LLC? There's no reason to do that. So a lot of people start with LLCs, which I did it too. And this process is really easy. You just basically Google file LLC and there's probably a government page to do that. So you fill out the form, which takes about 10 to 20 minutes. And then I paid about $100, but I think you can pay just $50. I'm not really sure. And then you send it and they will send you a confirmation saying, hey, your business is now incorporated. Voila, this is your legal name. So for DILEMAA legal name is DILEMAA LLC. And after we have the LLC entity, I went to IRS and got an EIN. An EIN is employer identification number. And you basically need the EIN to hire an employee for tax purpose reasons. So after you formed an LLC and have an EIN, what you want to do next is make a bank account for a business. Now, most of you guys might have a checking account or saving account, a debit card or a credit card. Now, those stuff usually are personal, but now you want to build a business bank account. You can have both debit card and credit card for your business, but I just have a debit card. For me, I opened my business bank account in Chase Bank, and what they needed was basically a physical paper that shows the EIN and that DILEMAA is a legal entity. And besides that, you just need to bring your ID and a second ID and other things. But I would highly recommend for you to just go to the bank website or the credit union website and read what documents they require. And now that I had a business bank account, what I did is I started marketing DILEMAA. And even today, I don't have a complete MVP, but we are posting about DILEMAA every day on Instagram and TikTok. And we have accounts on Twitter, LinkedIn, and possibly YouTube. And I'm marketing the app before I build the MVP because one, I'm confident that I can build it. And two, I want to build a stage where people are waiting for the launch of DILEMAA. So our plan is to post new dilemmas every day and record a DILEMAA podcast and record other content related to dilemmas and post it on Instagram and TikTok. So this is where DILEMAA is at right now. After this, what we plan to do is to actually launch the app on both iOS and Android on August. And from there, what we're planning to do is to register trademarks such as our logo and our name. And the reason why we didn't register a trademark before the launch is because in order to register a trademark, people need to actually use the product. And for us, no one is using our product because we never launched it. So we have to wait until we actually launch the app and there are people using our app. So after you launch and you register a trademark, you want to get user feedback and enhance your product and grow. That's basically how it is. And I want to mention that this video is a bit biased into app development because I've never had experience building an actual product. So maybe if you want to build an actual product, something might be different. Like you need to contact manufacturers and there are laws for that, but I'm not really sure. So that's about it. So thank you for watching and I hope I see you again. Bye bye.